Hello, good morning, everyone. So thank you for taking our time out of your schedule today to join us on the first edition of our product design session. I have one of my senior colleagues and a few other colleagues who are with me in this meeting. First is Najma Stella Nganga. So she's going to be talking us through this session today. She has a wealth of experience around product design. She's actually our vice president, SME ecosystem within the Reliance team. So, Madam Stella, I always struggle with other names. You're welcome.
You have seriously butchered my names, but it's okay. Yes, so let me just share the screen and then I can start. Thank you. Sorry, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, ma.
Yes, ma. Okay, thank you.
Yes, we can, ma'am.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. So today we will be talking about product design. I will be the one who will be handling the topics that have to do with product. So we will have other topics in the coming weeks, but today we are going to be working on product design. Feel free to stop me anytime you have a question, and then we can proceed. Let me minimize this as well so you can see now everything, the screen fully, I'm assuming.
Yes,
Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So basically, product design is all about how you describe the process, yeah, of a product. Because when we look at a product, we look at a product as a solution, as something that is going to solve an existing problem. So in product design, it is the element of looking at those processes that are going to solve that problem that are within that product, okay? So it describes the processes of imagining, creating, iterating the products that solves users' problems or address the needs in a specific market, okay? Then the next thing is to make sure that you have a successful product design. It is key to understand the end user. The end user here being your customer or your consumer, okay? Because in products, what we, as I said before, the focus is to provide a solution to an existing problem. Don't just create products for the sake of creating products or because, oh, I think this is a good idea. Oh, I think this would be, this would be something nice I would like to do. No, products like those usually do not stay long in the market because they are based on our own perception. So creating products is supposed to be based on the consumer. What does the consumer want? What problem are they having? For example, if it's a healthcare product, what problem are you trying to solve? Are you trying to solve quality healthcare issues? Are you trying to solve accessibility issues? Are you trying to solve time management issues? Are you trying to solve precision issues? For example, in a hospital, maybe to help the nurses to be able to provide medicine to all the patients that are admitted in the wards. Maybe you can design a product that is going to help them, manage the dispensation of those drugs to all the patients on time, and to make sure that they do not forget any patient, as opposed to just walking around with papers. Yeah. If it's for now, that would be that your consumer or your end user is the nurses. Now, in this space where, for example, you're looking at just the general market, or the patients are your end consumer, this is where you would try to solve things like accessibility. These are, for example, maybe in some communities, there are not enough doctors, okay? Or maybe the distance from your home to the nearest health facility is, hundreds of kilometers. How do you do that? How do you solve that problem? You can solve that problem by creating telemedicine, virtual consults kind of a solution. So each and every product that is designed, it's designed for a specific consumer, specific end user. Okay. Now, the product designers attempt to solve problems for real people by using empathy, knowledge of their respective customers' habits, behaviors, frustration, needs, and wants. Now, we go back to the healthcare product that I was discussing. Now, if you're going to design something for those nurses, you must understand their frustrations. You must understand how long it takes them to be able to cover a whole ward. You must be able to understand what challenges do they have. Do they end up forgetting giving patients their medication? Do they give patients medication past the time when they were supposed to give the medication? Do they have challenges maybe in remembering the quantity they're supposed to be giving the patients? You need to understand all those things and all their struggles so that you can be able to give them a solution. When it comes now again to the patients, assuming now you're creating a product for the patients who are now the consumers, yeah? What do those patients want? You may be living in the big capital city and you're developing a product for, a very isolated community, okay? Now, you need to place yourself in their shoes. If possible, go to that region, understand their frustrations, understand their culture, understand their behaviors, understand their needs, and understand their wants. And also understand that even if you come up with a tech-based solution, that tech-based solution may not be used by these people because, for example, maybe they don't have, smartphones. Maybe they don't have internet. So what are you going to do about that? Maybe they also don't trust the element of technology. Maybe they have their own misconceptions about what technology is all about, and you need to understand all those elements before you create a solution. And as you create solution, look at ways to be able to ensure that these people feel comfortable using your product, and these people are able to trust your product before it goes into the market, and that when it gets to them, that they will not only appreciate it, but they will use it and see it as a solution to their problem. Okay, so a good product design practice threads themselves through the entire product lifecycle. The product design is essential for creating initial user experience, product offering from pre-ideation, user research to concept development to prototyping and usability testing. But it does not end there. A product design plays an ongoing role in refining the customer experience. For example, most of you here may be using WhatsApp. Yeah? Is that true? Anyone respond? Is WhatsApp a common?
Yes,
yeah?
it is.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
when you look at WhatsApp, is it the same WhatsApp, the WhatsApp you're using, is it the same WhatsApp that you were using 10 years ago?
No.
No,
No.
it isn't.
Yes. Now,
No.
the reason why it is not the same product is because with time, other things, what is it called? Other need, the consumers have had other needs. For example, before you couldn't be able to upload photos, yeah? But photos became a necessity. So they created a feature for helping you to upload pictures. Before, you couldn't be able to upload a document. With time, they saw that, business people are using WhatsApp to share documentation and everything else. And what did they do? They added that feature. Then they went along to say, like, okay, some people want to take instant photos. So they created an instant photo feature. And then it went on to other countries, like, for example, in Middle Eastern countries and even Northern Africa, what some of the WhatsApp features, for example, the call-in option, yeah, is usually disabled, yeah, because of regulations in that region. So what did they do to be able to deal with that issue? So they created the recording aspect, where now you can record a message to someone and they can receive it and they can respond to you. And even the calling option, that was something new. Then came in the blue ticks, yeah? People would send messages and not sure if the other person has received their messages, so they would send the blue. So now they created the blue ticks one. And then it went on, and then they also created the status one, where now WhatsApp is basically like it can be used like a YouTube, YouTube Shorts, or what is it called? Or TikTok, where you can be able to, show your status, show a couple of things, put a couple of videos there, share multiple videos, take a video of yourself doing some things here and there, and people can be able to watch it. So that is the whole element of continuous development, ensuring that your product continues to cater for the needs of your consumers as their needs keep on changing, as their preferences keep on changing, as, the environment keeps on changing. Okay, so it's product design. You cannot say that I designed this product today and then I forget about it. That product will get to a place where people will not want to use it. How many of you people remember Kodak? Kodak cameras? Are there any people who remember Kodak cameras here? The film cameras. Do you remember the film cameras? Before the digital cameras came in? Or people are not that old? Okay, do you remember BlackBerry, the BlackBerry phone?
Yes,
Yes,
I
please.
do.
Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
Yes, ma'am.
So you don't remember the old cameras, but you remember the BlackBerries?
We do that, the analog camera.
Yes, the analog camera. Now, Kodak was the biggest film company, there was Kodak, and I think there's also Fuji, yes? Depending on the country that you are in. So Kodak was actually, they were the first people to develop the digital camera. But when they developed the digital camera, the executives saw it as one of the people, the team that was, the R&D, the research and development team that was working on that product said, this is going to be the future. But the management looked at them and said, no, 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 no. The world will always want, film. And eventually it got to a point where they stopped the project. Once they stopped the project, all these other companies came in and took over. Samsung came and took over. Sony came in, they took over, and they created digital cameras. And what happened? Kodak got to a point where even if they tried to develop what they had already, developed before, it was too late. They had already missed their opportunity, and that's what happened. And they lost their market. So let's go to the next one. Okay, so what is the importance of product design? The importance of product design is to deliver positive user experience and gain loyal customers. This is to ensure that once you take your product there, the consumers are happy. They're happy in terms that it solves all their problems. And once it solves all their problems, then it creates an element of loyalty, because they're like, okay, each time we tell this person that we're having this challenge, they go there, create something and bring it out to us, meaning they listen to us. Once when people, sorry about my clock. When consumers feel that they are being listened to by the people who are creating those products, they create an element of loyalty, because they will be like, these are the people who are listening to us, so these are the ones whom we are going to go with. It's the same logic as, for example, when you go to a barber or a saloonist and you tell them you want them to make your hair. And so your barber always comes up with new ideas, new styles for you. He tells you this is what is now the next thing that is going to come in. This is what is going to make you look smart. This is what, aligns to the shape of your head. This is what, the shape of your face. So if you're oval or if you're round, this is what is going to, bring out your features more. Yeah. You are more likely to have a loyal kind of a relationship with that kind of a barber than another barber who you just go, yes, excuse you, what design do you want? This one. Okay. Shaves your head after, where's the money? You give them the money and it goes. So once someone is listening to you, once someone is there and has created that element that they are there for you, they want to take care of your needs, they want to make you happy, and they want to make you satisfied, then you create an element of loyalty towards them, because you feel that they are, they are looking at you as more than just a customer, They are looking at you as a human being, and they are concerned about you. They are concerned about, how you will feel once you use their products, okay? Second is to secure a competitive edge. Product designs involves extensive market research, helping to identify the gaps in the market, determine how to successfully position the product within particular markets. This is critical for building brand awareness and outperforming competitors. I don't know what margarine you use, but there are different kinds of brands. So there's Blue Band, there's Prestige. There are maybe 5 different companies that are making margarine in your region. But which is the most common brand in your region?
Blue Band.
Blue Band. Okay, the person who has answered, why do you choose Blue Band? There's no
Because-
wrong answer. Just be open and just say why you use Blue Band.
Okay. I use Blue Band because they have this option for the low fat one and the regular one. So I buy the regular one for my kids and then I go with the fat one.
Okay. Someone else? Any other reason why you use Blue Band?
I use Blue Band because I feel it's of a better quality than the other brands. I trust the brand, so I go for it anytime I want to get a mattress.
Okay. Someone else?
Blue Band is being used due to the longevity of the product, due to the fact that the product has been in existence for more than a decade or 2 decades. So people actually have trust in that brand. That's why most people use the brand.
Okay. Now, with the 3 people who have answered, there are 3 different elements that we have seen. The first one, there's the element of options. Yeah, there's the low fat one and there's the regular one. Okay, so for people who are conscious about weight, they will choose the low fat one. And for her children, she says she would use the original one, maybe even for baking and everything else. Okay. Then the other one, the second person, it was about the quality. Yeah, there is perception that Blue Band is of a higher quality. She perceives that maybe because of how many times she's used it, and as compared to maybe something else, maybe Blue Band is thicker than these other ones. Maybe Blue Band is, when you use it in your house, maybe, for example, with the same number of people, if you buy Blue Band, it maybe goes for 30 days. If you use maybe Prestige, it takes maybe 15 days, because maybe Prestige is not, providing that taste that Blue Band is providing. So for her, the perception that Blue Band is of higher quality is there. Then the third one is that Blue Band is a household name. This all has to do with brand awareness. The product has been there for many years. It has been tested. It has become a household name. People trust Blue Band. Yeah. Some people may not even know the word margarine, but they know the word Blue Band. Yeah. So for them, any margarine is Blue Band. Anything that is associated with spreads for the bread is Blue Band. Why? Because there's brand awareness, and because that product has developed its brand over a period of years, which has made it, become one of the biggest names in the household. That is what we call a competitive edge. Yeah. So if you go to the supermarket and you have your Blue Band there, and then you come in and you start with your own product, Blue Band already has a competitive edge over you. Why? Because 1, the consumers think it's of higher quality. 2, it's already a household name. 3, it has options. Now you come with yours. For you to be able to even compete at any level with Blue Band, you must be able to provide something that Blue Band is not providing at the moment. And that's why when you try and create a product, you will always find that there is a product there that already has a competitive edge. And in order for your product to be able to compete with that product, you must create a competitive edge for yourself. So now, for example, we have already said there's the element of quality, there's the element of options, and there's the element of a household name. Now, when we are creating, now you've come in with your new margarine. Yeah. What type of competitive edge do you think you can give margarine so that it can compete with Blue Band?
Right now, Blue Band is quite expensive. I think maybe when it's affordable.
Yes, there's affordability. So you come in with your product and your competitive edge becomes affordability. Okay, something else? Packaging can also be a competitive edge. For example, everyone is used to, you know, is it in plastic in that in your country, or is it in
Yes.
it's in
Yes.
plastic?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now there's all this element about how plastics are dangerous. Yes. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Very
How we're
true.
being told. Now you come in with your own and you bring your margarine, and maybe you put it in a glass jar. Yeah, or a glass container. So one, it makes it look more expensive, but then you make it affordable, and then you make it glass. It makes it look unique. So you've created a competitive edge because it's not like all the other margarines which are put in plastic containers. This one is in glass. Yeah. Some of these things, as we're saying here, may be practical and some may not be practical because you have to, you know, sit down and do the calculations and weigh out. Sorry, excuse me. You must be able to weigh out the expenses and the viability of, you know, those techniques. But those are some of the ideas that provide you with a competitive edge. The next one is boost efficiency. Another important aspect of product design is developing design systems, processes, and documentation, which will help to streamline and optimize collaboration, such as product design plays a critical role in driving efficiency. Now, when it comes to product design, you need to be able to work with all elements in an organization. When I mean all elements, I mean you need to work with the technology team, you need to work with the research and design team, because these are the people who are outside there. They're the ones who are listening to the consumers. They're the ones who know what the consumers want. Then you need to sit down with the business people, because the business people are the ones who are going to make, you know, be able to calculate the risks. They're going to be the ones who calculate, you know, how much you can be able to sell your product, how viable it is, how sustainable is it, how is it going to affect, you know, your bottom line at the end of the day. And you also need, as I said, the technology people, because of innovation, because they're the ones who know what new technologies are coming in. You need to all work together. And when you all work together in designing a product, you boost efficiency. Yeah. Because as together you will be working as a team. You won't be working separate, or this one does this, and then they have to go argue with this group, and they have, no, all of you are working together and you boost efficiency. Decisions are made faster, solutions to problems are made faster, challenges are addressed faster, and everything is able to go in a more streamlined approach. Okay. Then we have the track product performance over time. Okay. When it comes to products, yeah, they will not always do well. Okay. So there are different stages of a product. So there's a first stage where you introduce the product into the market. It may not do very well, but you've just introduced it. Yeah. After you've introduced it, then it will get to a place where, after people are starting to get used to it and everything else, then, you know, it will hit a high. Yeah. Because now they will see, why should I buy this expensive one when there's a cheaper margarine? Yeah. And it looks even better. Let me go for that margarine. Yeah. And then there's always the concept that there's basically it's common knowledge that butter is of higher quality than margarine. And butter is, you know, what is it? It's healthier than margarine. So if your margarine looks closer to butter, so people will perceive it to be more of butter and of higher quality. So they'll tend to move to that direction. And then there's also the container. So the competitive edge works at this point, and your product starts to shoot. Once it shoots, it goes to a place where it goes very high, and then it attains a maturity. Now, when it stays there at a high level, there are a lot of other things that now can bring it down. Okay. another product may come into the market that may look at your competitive edge and decide to just, break it all down. Yeah. Prices of production may come in. So the whole element of being affordable gets affected because, like, for example, when during COVID, a lot of things were disrupted. Yes. So even in production became more expensive. So for real, when it became more expensive, then the prices went higher. Because first of all, most of the goods were received through import and export. Now, countries were on lockdown, so products are not moving in and out. Yeah, so the raw material, you don't have access to the raw materials. So the small amounts of raw materials that you get, you have to make maximum use out of them. So what do? You create small amounts of products, and those products, you cannot be able to sell them the way you were selling them before, because right now they've become a scarce, they're scarce in the supermarket. So you can sell it for double, for triple, so that you can be able to have more money to be able to get those raw materials or to sustain yourself until the lockdown comes to an end. There are 7 fundamental elements and principles of product design. So we have desirability. This considers whether or not the product you plan on designing is currently wanted or needed by your target market. This is what I was explaining about providing a solution. So the customers must first of all desire that product because that product is offering a solution. Then there's the feasibility. A good product must be feasible. In other words, it must be realistic. Is it doable? Can you able to make that product? Does it make sense making that product? Are the materials available? Is the technology available? Yeah. Are the resources available? And even after all those things are available, what will be the cost of selling that thing? What will be the cost of making that product? Yeah. Everything may be doable in terms of resources, everything else. But now when it comes to now selling that item, it cannot be sold, at an affordable rate because all the things that you have used are very rare things. That makes it not doable or viable because now it does not solve a problem, because now it's only targeting a very small percentage, maybe the 1% in the community. So that makes that product, a problem. And then there is the functionality. Every product must have clearly defined purpose, and it must be functional in relation to the core purpose. It should be designed and built in a way that enables the end user, which is a consumer, to perform their desired tasks. And it should function just as the user expects it to do. For example, when you buy a pot, you're buying a pot, a cooking pot, because you want to cook food. Now, when you get a cooking pot that once you put it onto the fire, it breaks, or once you put it onto the fire, it melts, that means it's non-functional. It beats the purpose. So it needs to be functional. So if you're going to make a cooking pot, make a cooking pot that when someone tries to boil water, the pot doesn't melt, doesn't crack. Yeah, and that they can be able to use that pot multiple times. Okay. Then there's aesthetics. People are naturally, human beings are attracted to beautiful things or to things that are out of the ordinary. So competitive products offer seamless functionality and visual appeal. So it's good to create that visual appeal. The aesthetics of a product help to forge a strong brand identity, attract the target audience, enhance the user experience. Aesthetics includes the colors, imagery, topography, overall UI, user interface design of the product. In the case of physical products, it also includes the materials used. Now we go back to Blueband. Blueband have always used the color yellow and blue. Yellow is a very bright color. It's it's virtually impossible to not notice yellow. That was something they did purposely so that they can make their product stand out. Then there is the blue, a bright color and a dark color, which creates an element of contrast, whereby the color, yellow, and the blue makes it impossible to miss because these are two colors that are not blending in, but they have been made to blend in. Yeah. Then there's the imagery. They put bread and then they show someone spreading on it. And at times they have, they put elements of vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin K2, all these things. All these things are just elements to make you buy that product. Some of them may be true, some of them may not be true, but it all revolves around the element of aesthetics. Then there's the quality. Quality is a key differentiator. The markers of a quality product include high performance, reliability, meeting the user's expectations, adhering to industry standards. If a product falls short in terms of quality, it will struggle to compete. For example, there was a lady who spoke and said that the reason why she buys Blueband is because of the quality. Yeah. This is a major differentiator. People would always want high quality at a lower cost. At times that is not possible, and higher quality means, paying more for it. But as she said, one of you said that Blueband right now is very expensive, but she would still prefer to go for Blueband because of the quality. And because of the quality, she is willing to go through that pinch of removing extra money so that she can get that quality.
Ben.
Sorry?
Ben.
Hello? Please mute your... Okay, can proceed. So now, for example, ladies, if you want a quality bag, yeah? You know how expensive quality bags are, yes? Not the ones that are replicated in China, but the ones made in Italy and everything else. You have to pay more for them, much more for them than buying the ones that maybe you go and get them at the market where, it's a replica and that replica will not stay as long as that other one is. So the replica will start peeling off after some period of time. Maybe it's not water resistant. It cannot be able to carry many things. And once the printing will start to wear off, but the original ones, all that does not happen. So for paying for the original one, that extra amount of money that you have to pay for the original one is for the quality. Yeah. Then there's the user experience. This is a pillar of product design, considers the quality of the user's experience with the product. A successful product is easy to use and navigate, is accessible and inclusive, and does exactly what it promises. For example, go back to the pan issue. Now you go to the pan, you go to the box looks very good. It shows you someone frying an egg or someone, making jollof, and
Sorry, ma.
Yeah.
Please, we can no longer see your screen.
You cannot see my screen.
Yes, we are just seeing your
Yes,
face.
ma.
We can no longer see the slide.
Yes, ma, we
Okay.
can
Okay.
see it.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay. Yes, I'm trying to reshare again.
Yeah, it's visible now.
So why hadn't you seen? Had we reached fundamentals? Yes. We had done user experience.
Yes, we're okay here.
Yes, yes.
And we've done it.
Okay. So I was going to the user experience. So I was a bit, okay, let me explain the element of the pan. So again, for the pan, imagine having a pan that has eight handles. What would you do with a pan that has 8 handles? How would you hold it? How would you put it onto the stove? Which side would you hold to be able, to cook? That all has to do with user experience. So, and when you look at the current pans that we have, there's a reason why the pan itself has a handle that slides, looks like it slides. This is to enable you to hold the pan properly and be able to fry at the same time, okay? And when you look at the handle, most of these handles are made from a different material. The reason why they're made from a different material is to ensure that you can be able to hold it. And the materials they use, what are they called? They do not, they use materials such as maybe plastic, maybe wood, because these are not going to be able to transfer the heat onto your hand, because the moment they transfer the heat onto your hand, then you will have to drop it. And once you drop it, then it makes cooking a challenge. Yeah? Any questions at this point, or can I proceed?
Good morning, ma.
Yes, please proceed.
Morning.
Ma, please, can you please lay more emphasis on that user's experience UX with respect to that blue band? I just need more light thrown on it, ma.
User experience. Okay.
Yes, ma.
So user experience is, for example, you see blue band. Do you know the texture of blue band and also the texture of another margarine? How is blue band? Blue band is soft, right?
Yes, yes.
Meaning when you apply it, you just apply it on bread. You remember, you see there are some cases where you have margarine that once you go take a bit of it, you want to apply onto the bread, it breaks the bread. Yeah?
Yes, ma.
So once it breaks your bread, you become, it's I don't know how some other people feel, but for me, I feel it's very irritating.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Good morning, ma'am. Blue band actually has 2 types, like the one for soft and there's one for hard.
Yes.
Yes, they have the one that is easy spread and the other one is not easy spread. Maybe you can use that for your baking and all that. But the one for easy spread is mainly for spreading on a bread or something to spread.
Yeah,
but
and the other one is for cooking.
Spread. Exactly.
Yes, so that's why I'm even, yeah, that's a good example. And also, even if you didn't have those options, of easy spread and hard spread, what would you go for? Would you go for the spread that you can easily spread on your bread, or are you going to go for the one that keeps on breaking your bread? It's the same thing, for example, with a knife. Yeah, for example, a knife. Which kind of knife would you prefer cutting meat with to cut meat? Would you rather a blunt knife or a sharp knife? Yeah, a sharp knife is better because you're able to cut it once.
Sharp knife. Yes.
When you have a blunt knife, you keep on struggling. That's why you have different types of knives. Yeah. So you have the spreading knife, you have the butcher's knife, you have the cake knife, you have the bread knife, you have also, the cooking knife. That's why you have different kinds of knives. It's all about the user experience. Aside even from Blue Band, let me also give you another example. You use Omo and Persil and Ariel.
Yes, ma. Omo and Ariel.
Okay. Like for us here in Kenya, Omo for very many years, yes, despite being affordable, was problematic, basically because it would burn your hands. Okay. So once it started burning it keeps on burning your hands. So what happened? The competitors started using that as, as a way to get all the Omo customers to move. So Ariel came in where they say that it has glycerin, it is gentle on your hands. Persil came in with the same idea. Sunlight also came in. And then after that, the competition now moved from now gentleness on hands, and now it went to the element of scent. Yeah, people want something that smells nice. Okay, so now they came in with lavender, they came in with herbal, they came in with jasmine, they came in with all different smells. It's all about user experience. Sir, have I answered your question?
Yes, ma. Yes, ma. But I just want to ask just one, because the reason why I asked this question was because I have this in the back of my mind. Is it before products would actually be before they will give us to a user experience, do they need to do what we call a market research? Because I believe that a company can produce a particular product, then they have to do a market research in order for them to know if they are meeting up to that user's experience.
Okay, research is done in different phases, but the first thing before creating any product, research is very important, because as I said, you're not creating your product for yourself. You're creating a product for for other people. Yeah. So first of all, you need to understand what other people want. You need to understand their problems. Yeah.
True, ma.
Then after you've done that research and you've understood everything, what they want, then now you come and look for a solution. Once you've come up with a solution to their problems, then you go back again and do more research. You have competitors. You're not the first person to come up with this solution. Are there other solutions that are similar to yours? And if there are solutions that are similar to yours, what are they lacking? Yeah. For example, Blue Band only has, what is it called? They have the original, and they also have, what is it called? Light spread. Yeah. Maybe you want to come up with an idea of maybe strawberry. Yeah. Vanilla, chocolate spread. Yeah. You need to look at what your competitors are doing, understand what it is that they're doing. What are their shortfalls? What are the people who are using Blue Band? Despite using Blue Band, what more would they like Blue Band to do for them? What more would they like in a margarine? Yeah. What do they feel is lacking in the market? Yeah. Once you do that, then you go again and create and work on a couple of things. Then go back again to the market again. Then you tell them, okay, fine. This product, what would you want the product to make you feel like? Yeah. They will tell you, maybe, I've never heard of a lavender washing detergent. I want my clothes to smell like lavender because maybe I don't have enough money to keep on buying perfume. Yeah. Or maybe I don't have enough money to keep on buying fabric softener. Or they tell you, I would like a product that would combine washing powder and fabric softener and bring it all together, and that I don't need to buy the two of them because buying the two of them is expensive. Yeah. It's all about what they want. And even if you finish developing your whole product and it goes to market, research is always important because you have to do continued research if you want your product to be sustainable, if you want your product to remain relevant in the market. If you don't do research and find out how people feel about your product, you know, and look for the shortcomings of your product and look at what the consumers would want you to add on to your product, then your product will die. Yeah, and that is what I'm saying was one of the, one of the mistakes that Kodak or BlackBerry made, because they weren't in touch with their consumers. So research is something that is continuous. It never stops. Are we good?
Yes, ma. Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
Okay. Any other question or do I proceed?
Talk more of viability, ma.
Sorry?
Please, ma, proceed.
Talk more of viability under the elements of product design. Please, I actually don't get that point very well, ma.
What?
Viability.
Desirability.
After feasibility. Yes, ma.
Desirability or viability? The first
viability,
one.
Viability, ma.
Viability. Okay. Viability is, how do I put it for you? Does it make sense for you to compete? Okay, let me put it as a question. Does it make sense for you to create margarine to compete with Blue Band, but instead of selling margarine, you're using butter, knowing that butter is more expensive? And now instead of selling it at the price of butter, you're selling it at the price of margarine, and even you have reduced that that cost. Is that sustainable? Does that make any business sense to you?
No, ma.
Why? Because eventually you will get to a point where as much as you're trying to get customers and everything else, it will not be sustainable because you will end up in a lot of debt, yeah, trying to get a certain market. And then once you get that market and they get used to your product at a certain price, you cannot make changes because whatever changes you try to make in reducing the quality of that product, then they will all abandon that product. How long can you be able to sacrifice losing, hundreds of dollars just to make the consumer happy? Yeah, your business will not stay. Your business will collapse. You'll end up in a lot of debt and it will lead to a lot of frustration. So everything that you do has to make business sense. Yeah. The other thing is you cannot, like, for example, how is it? It's like, I think all of you know this. It's like me buying a Gucci bag. Yeah, I buy a Gucci bag to go sell it in the market. A brand new Gucci bag, and I go sell it in the market at the price of the bags that are being sold in the market. Does that make business sense? Considering how much I paid to buy that bag.
No, ma, it doesn't.
No.
Yeah. So in everything that you do, it must have the whole element of a business, the whole element of a product. You must be able to generate revenue from it, because generating revenue from it makes it sustainable. Yeah. Because remember, you're not making this product alone. You have employees. Yeah. You have utility expenses. So there's water, there's internet, yeah? There's electricity, there's rent that you have to pay, yeah? You have to pay these employees their salaries. You have to pay yourself. You yourself, maybe you yourself need to eat, yeah? You need clothes. If you are married and have children, you have to feed them. You have to take your children to school. How are you going to survive? No? Every business has to be viable, because the main point of going to business is to make profit. And that's why there needs to be a combination of both. Yes, you have this desire to meet people's, objectives and, provide a solution for them. But as much as you're providing a solution for them, know that there is a cost to that solution. Yeah? There is a cost to that solution. And you either transfer that cost to the consumers, maybe have an NGO buy that product, and cover that cost, but one way or the other, that cost needs to be covered by someone. And if you do not have other people pay for that cost, you are the one who's going to pay for that cost, and that cost is going to finish you. And your business will collapse. Do you understand it now?
Yes, ma. Thank you so much, ma.
You're welcome. Can I proceed now?
Yes, ma.
Okay. And then there's, you understood all this. So now we are product design process. So now we have there are various processes. So one, you have to provide the product vision and strategy, conduct user and market research, ideate, prototype, test and iterate, develop and launch, and then post-launch. So when we are defining the product vision and strategy, this is what we have to do. Every successful product is underpinned by a clear vision and a solid strategy. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? All these questions need to be answered. The product vision defines where the product should end up in the long term, while the strategy looks at how the vision will be achieved. The strategy mainly is to, okay, you've decided my vision is I want to be the biggest manufacturer in the next 10 years. Now, the purpose of the strategy is to create a roadmap of how you are going to get there, what you are going to do in the next 10 years to make sure that you are able to be the biggest manufacturer in the next 10 years. At this stage in the process, the product designer works with the rest of the product team to answer the following questions. Why are we building this product? So why are we building this product? Are we trying to offer a solution to a certain market? Are we, and if it's a solution, what solution is it? And also, is it because I don't want employment? Because also these are personal things that you have to ask yourself. Is it that I'm tired of being employed? Is it that I can't get employed anymore? Is it that I don't want employment and I want to be an innovator or an entrepreneur? Who is this product for? Who is your target market? Yeah. And when it comes to target market, you need to be specific in terms of age, in terms of religion, in terms of culture, in terms of, gender. You need to be specific. You need to know your target market inside out. Then, what problem will the product solve? So, what problem is it? Is it that people are not getting enough medication in a certain region, and the solution will be to provide enough medication to that region or to make medicine accessible? How will the product evolve over time? How will I progressively improve my product? How will I increase the value of this product? How will I make this product more endearing to the consumers? How will I make sure that the consumers do not get tired of my product? How will I make sure that the consumers will always be wanting to use my product because my product is always meeting their needs? How will we define and measure the success of this product? How will we look at our performance? So how do we define and measure the success of our products? Is it by how many users we have? Is it by how much money we're making per financial year? Is it by how many partners we have? Yeah. Is it by how many regions we have been able to invest in? Is it by how many regions we have been able, to take our product to? All these elements need to be answered. Product vision and strategy are essential for ensuring that all stakeholders are aligned and moving towards a common goal, that the product evolves in line with the business objective. Your product is on one side, the business objectives on one side. These two need to work together. Not in opposite directions, they must be parallel to one another and they must work together. The product goals, the business goals, they must work together. Conduct user and market research. The research phase comprises of both user research and market research. The goal of user research is to gain a deeper understanding of your target users. What do they want and what do they expect from the product? What challenges and pain points do they need you to solve? For example, if they're using a specific kind of phone, maybe this phone does not allow them to be able to, use passwords of more than five numbers or more than 5 letters. Yeah. That could be a pain point. The fact that maybe their battery doesn't stay for more than 24 hours, that could be a pain point. The fact that their screen, people can be able, once they open their screen and they're doing things, people can be able to see what it is that they're doing. With modern technologies, there are certain screensavers that allow you to, anyone from the side cannot see your screen. Yeah. All these are pain points, and you need to understand what their pain points are and what pain points you choose to address, because you cannot address everything. Let's be honest. You can only choose a specific pain point that you will deal with first. Once you've dealt with it successfully, then you go to another pain point. The common user research methods include user interviews, surveys, and contextual inquiries. This is where you can go around and have surveys. Go meet people on the street, ask them. Yeah, send random emails to people and ask them what it is that they use. Use companies that, have access to users and they can be able to collect that data for you. And then you come and analyze it. The goal of market research is to determine what competing products already exist. For example, if you wanted to start something to do with margarine, it will tell you that there is Prestige, there is Blue Band, and maybe there's another one. So you have to find a way to compete with these two. Identify gaps and opportunities in the market. It will tell you that, okay, we want something that is very close to butter and healthier than Blue Band. Yeah. Understand the market trends. People don't have enough money but they want quality. How do we deal with that? Explore how you might position your product, a healthy product, because right now everyone is conscious about health issues, okay? And also affordability, because everyone is going through a recession, yeah? Everything you learn in the research phase will inform you how your product takes shape. Ideate. This is where, with the user and market research complete, you should have a clear understanding of the problem you're aiming to solve. Okay. Now it's time to find potential solutions. Now this is where you brainstorm and you ask yourselves, okay, fine. So these people want margarine and they want a cheaper version. They want a healthier version. And so what will I give them? So this is when now you start to craft. Come up with ideas, sit down with ideas, try, come up. You may come up with 5 or 10 ideas, but those 5 or 10 ideas will now be brought down to another 2 ideas. And then after that, after validating and after seeing which one is most applicable and one which is most doable, then you will come up with a solution. Then there's prototyping. So prototyping allows you to simulate how the product would look, function, and test it with your target users before getting it developed for real. For example, most of you have gone to supermarket and seen samples, yes? Where a company comes in and they're giving you samples to taste. Has anyone ever encountered this? Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
yeah, so now those samples are prototyping. The company wants to get your feedback. Yeah, they want to start a new product. They're not sure how it's going to perform. They just create a small version of it. Maybe it's noodles. Yeah, maybe it's juice. Maybe it's margarine, or maybe I don't know what it could be, or maybe even bread or some cookies or something like that. And they want to know how, how the market would respond to them. So what they do, they go out and they give samples. And as those people, as they give you their samples, they're usually busy listening to you to understand. Do you like it? What do you feel like it's missing? If it's the noodles, or are they too soft? Or are they too rough? How is the flavor? Is it too salty? Does it have, was it too chili? Would you like a kid's version? That is the work of the prototype. And it's the same thing that applies to systems. So that one is for a physical item. And when it comes now for systems, prototypes is what we call an MVP, a minimal viable product. So this minimal viable product is what is taken out into the market. People get to use it, and gradually new features are included. And that is what happened to WhatsApp. So WhatsApp, when they first developed WhatsApp, once they developed WhatsApp, they created a minimal viable product. It was basically a shell. Yeah, a shell of a product, took it out to the market, and with every feedback they got, they created a new feature. Every feedback they got, they created a new feature. Every feedback they got, they created a new feature. And it's the same thing that happens with even Google. Remember, before we just used to have Google, Gmail. So now from Gmail, it went to Google Docs. Yeah, they have Google Meets. Yeah, all these things are things that have been added basically from a single prototype, which is called the minimal viable product. Then there's the testing and iterating. So the testing is basically, you have to test it. Things are tested in different ways. For example, you may decide to test your product within your organization in the first round, but within the organization, you will not get adequate information. So you need to take it outside. And that's why I'm saying now, as also part of prototyping, when those people are listening to you, they're also testing. They're also testing the product, because you are the consumers and you are the ones who are telling them what to do, how the product is. and what the product misses. And from there, now they will create now better solutions. And it's the same thing with iterate. Iterate means continuous development, continuous improvement. So after you have been able to get down and people tell you what it is, so for example, for the product, if it was the noodles, then they go back, make a couple of changes. After they make up a couple of changes, they launch it to the market and it becomes a new product. Yeah. And then after launching, now that doesn't mean your work has ended. Now it means what next? How are we going to improve this product? What are we going to do? Are we going to create an additional version of this product? Yeah. How are we going to conquer the rest of the target market? Yeah. Are we going to look for another target market to conquer? Are we going to just stay in our region, or are we going to go to other regions? For example, let's say maybe we're in Abuja. Yeah. Are we going to go to other regions? Yeah. Are we going to just stay in Nigeria, or are we going to go to West Africa as a whole, or are we going to go to the whole of Africa? Yeah. So the role of a product designer is majorly product strategy and vision, research and testing, cross-team collaboration, hands-on design work, and process documentation. Do we have, and jobs in product design, you may have a UX designer, you may have a graphics designer, motion animation designer, data analyst, prototyper, and product designer. Do you have any questions before we complete?
Oh, all right, ma. Thanks for this section. Really appreciate your teaching. But my question is that, ma, I don't know if you can explain those highlighted items, like the roles of a product designer, that UX something something, the word that you highlighted. I don't know if you can give a simple definition of it or explanation.
Oh, the jobs in product design.
Yes.
Okay, the jobs in product design. So we have the UX designer. As you the last time I spoke about UX, I said, what are they? They're usually for user experience. So you can either, so nowadays they're usually combined into two. It's UI, UX. It's UI, UX. So user interface, user experience. Yeah. So what their main job is they're mainly the ones who create they create the designs. For example, when you go to any website, let me just get one. When you go to any website, you see how there are different things have been done, different images have been done. Yes. You see the layout.
We can't see your screen, man.
Yeah, but I'm speaking. I'm not. I'm just. I'm explaining what a UI UX designer are.
Okay, ma.
Yes, I'm asking. Do you, and when you go to our website, what do you see in our website? You see images, yes?
Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
You see various images. You see various forms. You see various colors have been used. Yes. Yes. And then once you go to the website, and then maybe you want to go to About Us, there's a way that, you're taken to different pages. There's a user journey. Yes?
Yes.
That is the main job of a UI UX designer. Their main purpose is to create user experience. Their main purpose is to make sure that once you get onto a website, once you get onto any product, even if it's the Blue Band, they're the ones who design everything that is going to be on that Blue Band. They're the ones who will design the website. They're the ones who will choose the colors. When I mean design the website, not make the website, design. They're the ones who will come up with the images that are going to be used. Yeah? They're the ones who are going to come up with how the colors are going to be used. They usually use color palettes. They're the ones who come up with the color palettes that are going to be used. They're the ones who are, their main focus is to make sure that the user's journey is as pleasant as possible. They are able to capture the user. They are able to make sure that the user spends more time looking at that product or using that website or using that e-commerce site. That is the main purpose. So they just learn how to do designs. They learn how to use color palettes, and they use what to do. Are we good now?
Yes, ma. Thank you, ma.
Okay. Stephanie, you had a question?
Yes, ma. Good morning, ma.
Morning.
Ma, the part where you were talking about prototype, after
Yes.
you talked about releasing it for users and everything, I think the next sentence, there was something about high fidelity and low fidelity. So I don't quite get that part. If you can just help me out. Thank you.
Oh, okay. The prototype phase allows you to simulate the product would look and function. Let me share. Yeah, low fidelity prototypes map out the structure information, while high fidelity prototypes include visual detail. Yes? Stephanie, this is the part you're speaking about?
Yes, ma'am, that's the part.
Okay, low fidelity prototypes are like, now, how do I call it? Have any of you used flowcharts? Do you know how to use flowcharts? Yeah. So basically, low fidelity are more about high level flowcharts. They tell you this, okay, they show you input, they show you output, they show you processes. Yeah. That's low fidelity. Now, when we go to high fidelity, this is where now everything is done. You see a mock of it. Like, for example, in low fidelity, you said you have forms. Yes, someone needs to sign up, needs to register. Okay. Someone needs to register. Maybe they need to put in their name, everything else. So in low fidelity, you just write there needs to be a form. In high fidelity, you put everything that has to be in that form. You draw the whole form. How will it look like? How many questions will it have? Yeah. How many, what is it called? How many characters will there be for the first name, for the second name? Will it allow numbers? Will it allow letters? The phone number? Will it allow other regions, or will it only be for Nigeria alone? What is it else? It also tells you where people are going to click, all that. So it is the actual design that is high fidelity. Low fidelity is actually just putting it in the flowchart and saying people have to fill a form. But in high fidelity is the actual drawing of showing what is going to be on the form, what people are going to write, and where people are going to click. Is that understood, Stephanie?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Aziz?
Good morning, ma.
Morning.
So, ma, please, that roles of product designer, I don't really quite understand what the cross-team collaboration is.
Sorry?
The roles of product designer, that cross-team collaboration, I don't really understand it, ma, please.
Product designer collaboration.
A cross-team collaboration under the roles of product designer. The roles of product designer.
Cross-team collaboration. You remember when I was speaking about the development team being on one hand and the business team being on one hand and them having to work together?
Together.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is how it has to be, because when, as a product designer, you need to work with the people who are doing the research, yes? Because the ones who are doing the research are the ones who are talking to the consumers, yes?
Yes, exactly.
You have to speak to the business people, because the business people are the ones who can be able to calculate for you the costings and the pricing, yes?
Yeah, yes, the cost and the pricing. Yes,
you also have to deal with the IT team, because these are the ones who are going to tell you what technologies they're going to use.
It's all about, yes.
Yes, if they're going to use AI, if they're going to use what programming languages they're going to use, if it's going to need a database or not, these are the people you need to work with, yes? So cross-functional means working with people all around the organization. You have to all work together to be able to create a good product. Have I answered your question, Aziz? Okay, we go to Jennifer. Jennifer?
Okay, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Thank you very much for this session. So now my question is, what is the difference between a product designer, a UI UX designer, and I think a project manager? Because why I'm asking this question is that most of one of these things that has been stated here as, importance of product design, the stages of product design, these are things that I also know, or I'm also aware of, that are involved in the stages of UI UX design, the research, the prototyping, the high fidelity and low fidelity, So now, if you are putting yourself out there, what is the difference? How would you know you are a product designer? What makes you a product designer, and what makes you a UI UX designer? I think that's my question. Yes, I don't know if you get it.
Yes, I do. So, please forgive my clock again. So a product designer is working on the product as a whole. Now, a product designer can specialize, okay? A product designer can become a UI UX designer and that is your line. You get? That is where now you can specialize. Are we together?
So, Ma, are you saying that are they interchangeable?
Most of these roles are all interchanging, my dear. Even as a project manager, which we mainly do not use anymore these days because we use an agile approach. Yeah. A product manager deals with all the people. Yeah. So a product manager manages the whole team. And the whole team includes developers, includes business people, includes everyone working on the product. Now, the product manager is the one who will now prioritize and make decisions on what needs to be done when it needs to be done. That is the work of a product manager. When it comes to a product designer, they are the ones who are responsible for making decisions, or rather, what is it called? Decisions on how things are going to be designed. Designer. The main role here is to design. Yeah. So you can, there are different kind of designs. So there are people who do animations and they specialize in animations. And there are people who do UI, UX. These are people who, you know, they make the samples of how the product is going to be, and they make it only on paper, or rather they make it on documents or on systems called, they usually use something called Figma designs. That is what they use. But these people are not developers. Their work is to design. Yeah. Their work is simply to design, to come up with the color, to come up with the different colors and everything else and the different design. And even if they come up with those designs, you need to understand that the product manager, or rather the product owner, is the one who is going to approve what is going to be used. They cannot make a decision as to which one is going to be. They are going to create options. And then the product manager, product owner is the one who is going to choose what is going to be used. So we start with Stephanie and then we go to Prince.
Oh, I have one last question.
Okay, sorry, Stephanie. Let me first finish with Jennifer. Yes?
So now, in the cross-functional team, in a team where we have developers, we have a project manager, can it be a product designer and still be a UI UX designer in that team?
Yes.
And if yes, what would the product designer do that the UI designer would not do? And what would the UI UX designer do that the product designer would not do? How would they distribute the
UI UX designer?
Okay.
The UI UX designer would just design. The UI UX designer would be given instructions by the product designer what to do.
So the product designer is higher than the UI UX designer?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much.
Stephanie?
Okay, sorry again, Ma. I just wanted to ask, is it safe to say that all these market research, ideate, prototype, is it safe to say that all of those things are like the steps or strategies for product design?
Yes.
Okay, Ma. Thank you.
Prince? And then we go to Annie.
Morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Ma, while you were talking about product design processes, you mentioned prototype.
Yes.
And ordinarily, I've heard about designs and a term called wireframe. Wireframe kind of have the same definition with what you listed as a prototype. So I wanted to know if they actually mean the same thing or not. If they don't mean the same thing, what are the differences between the both of them?
It's the same thing. It's just that I didn't want to use, it's just that I need to be, you know, we are all from different, what is it called? We are all doing different things, and I cannot use technical jargons or things that, you see, like for example, when I wanted to speak about designs, I couldn't start talking about Figma and everything else because not everyone knows what Figma is.
All right, ma. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Annie.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Sorry, yeah. I want to ask about when you were talking about jobs in product design, you said data analysis is part of the job. So I just want to know, is there more to the role of a data analyst aside analyzing the data for maybe market research and all of that, like in the process of product design, or there is more to the role of a data analyst in this setting?
So a data analyst does different things. So a data analyst, first of all, will go do the research. You remember the different types of research I spoke about? Before creating the product, you will go do research. Find out what the problem is, okay? Come back, think of a solution, do more research. Does that solution make sense? What do the consumers want? Then each and every time the product is, once the product goes into circulation, there needs to be continuous research. There needs to be continuous feedback. What are our numbers? That is a product, that is the work of the data analyst. The data analyst needs to be able to collect information all throughout the life cycle of the product. Because how are we going to know how our product is performing without a data analyst? They're the ones who are going to create, so data analysts based on different products. There are different, what is it called, mechanisms that are applied by data analysts to be able to get automatic feedback. So there's automatic monitoring, where the product, if it's a tech-based product, they put certain features for automatic monitoring. For example, you can put CSAT, yeah. There are others where you're able to put some robotic kind of, what is it called? How do I put it? There are AI tools that we use to put into a product that can be able, that users can be able to respond about the product, and the data analyst can get that information and refine it and provide it so that we can make changes onto the product.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. I hope I've answered your questions, though.
Yes, ma, you did.
Wow, this is a very interesting name.
Okay, good morning.
Please, what is your name?
You can call me Rhoda.
Okay. Rhoda,
Tell
me.
So my question is, while you were explaining, you mentioned that a data analyst would be involved in research, right? So my question is, there is also a research and development team, right? So
yes,
can it be said that a data analyst is also performing the function of the research and development team?
Okay, do you know how many? Yeah, you see, let's be, I like being realistic. Not many organizations have research and development teams. Yeah, the product design team is the one that does everything. Yeah. So you do the research, you do the analysis, you do everything on your own, because not all companies. Raphael, please mute yourself. So most companies, especially startups, do not have all these categories that we keep on speaking about. This is in an ideal situation. Yeah, but they're no ideals. So most people usually find themselves doing all the work. Yeah, so they're kind of interchangeable roles because they all work together. And since the end goal is the same, they usually just get one person who does everything. Have you understood, Rhoda?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Suleiman?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma, I just want you to lay more emphasis on the 7 fundamental elements and their principle. 7 fundamental elements and their principle.
Okay, I'm looking for it. The desirability, feasibility, viability, functionality. Those ones are the ones, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
And the other 3.
Okay. So how would what would you like me to, is it that you don't understand them or you would like me to explain them? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can. I
So
mean the last 3 parts. The last 3 parts, which is
aesthetics, quality, and user experience.
Yes.
So which one don't you understand? All of the 3?
Yeah. The architects, you've been talking about the user, the UX. So I understand that now. Then I understand quality as well. But the first one, ma'am.
Aesthetics. Aesthetics is
Yes.
basically beauty. And that's what I
Beauty.
explained. Yes. Appearance. For example, what will make you buy a certain handbag? Give me look, what do you look at when you buy a handbag?
Yeah, I will look at the quality first, then the
Mhm.
look, the attractiveness.
Mhm.
The attractiveness, yes, that's what I will look.
Yes,
I look at the
that is
attractiveness, that's the first one. Then the second one, I'll look at the quality, if it will last me longer.
yes. Now, aesthetics, that attractiveness that is pulling you to that handbag is what we call aesthetics. And that's why I was explaining when it comes to Blue Band, they chose two colors. They chose a dark color and they chose a bright color. Yeah, which were both primary colors. Yeah, they used yellow and they used blue. Yeah, blue, yellow is a very shouting color. You cannot miss yellow. Now, to enhance that yellow, they even used now a darker color to push that yellow forward. Yeah, and then now they made it look so attractive, how they put the images there, how they put vitamin A, B, C, D, all those, how they put someone, or what is it called? Yeah, and it's the same thing with an advertisement. Yeah, there are some advertisements that are boring, yes? And there are some that you can't forget. It's all about beauty. It's all about catching the eye. Even when you're going to buy a dress, what attracts you to that dress? Is it the color? Is it the image? Is it the words that are on that color, on that outfit? That is what we call aesthetics. Suleiman, are we good?
Yes, okay, thank you, ma.
No, I want everyone, I would like you to be satisfied. If you're not satisfied, tell me you're not satisfied and I will repeat. We are here so that you can learn.
Thank you, ma.
Okay. Could you please?
Thank you, ma.
Could you please take the slides back to pages 26 and 20? You want pages 26? Is that okay? Whoever had, someone had asked for the pages. Let me see. Pre-skills. Is that okay?
I missed like the pages, so I just wanted to a quick shot of them so that I could read it back later.
Okay. Any other questions?
Page 27, ma.
Yeah, this is page 27.
And 26 then. Thank you. I'm done.
Okay. We'll see you again next week, and then we can proceed on the other topics. Yeah?
Yes.